Hi, Wars. Time for the Mike and Dale show every Tuesday and Thursday at this time, 11 a.m. EST, where I break down a little bit of macro and Mike gives you all the action one person and 1,000 accounts could handle.
And I'm not telling you where I got my sweater.
All right. I have a great look for you, Professor.
Thank you,
I'm
sir.
wondering if I could audit your course and get a master's degree in living through adversity.
We have a PhD in that, not a master's.
Living through adversity. So what do I have? What
If
are the
it was
courses?
fun, it wouldn't be easy. If it was easy, it wouldn't be. If it was easy, it wouldn't be fun.
You know, Mike, before we get to the markets, people think they could buy a trading book, read it over the weekend, and go live on Monday. It's like saying I read a book on brain surgery and I'll see you in the operating room Monday. So you know, it takes time. Just like you have to be patient with yourself, you have to be patient with the markets, you have to be patient with yourself. So we got this little bounce in gold here off this oversold reading. I'm really not that impressed, especially with silver. I don't think it's done going down yet. And my best call of the week was short side of yen at the 138 level. I did it at 705, but this is going to be real important because this will be the key for yields. And the key for yields is going to be the key for the dollar.
Hassan Lewis. Oh, yeah, I heard you.
Yeah. Okay. So I think dollar could make a new high, even though we've had a nice pop in pound, not as nice in euro. I still think euro has lower to go. So maybe we're going to get an inline strong number tomorrow to drive the euro to new lows, which I think a bottom's approaching. Same with cable. You know, we took out this level. So I would look to sell strength in the dollar if we have a strong jobs number tomorrow into early next week, maybe toe in the water tomorrow. And S&Ps, Mike, I don't know, they just don't feel great to me.
Look at Bank of America. Punch it up.
Okay, I'm going to turn the charts over to you.
Whoa.
But the banks, you know, we started talking about the banks not acting so good a week ago. And we had this big rally. So the market's going to have to decide, is this rally for real? And is this pullback enough? Or are we going to make another trip down here to the line at 3,900, which, you know, we could bounce, but I don't think it would be such a positive technical development if that happened. So let's get to what you're talking about. Let's look at some of the banks and see how they're acting into it. You know, very important sector. I noticed that oils are holding support barely. Posted an XLE chart in the main room yesterday. To me, it looks like it's not a question of if, but when. Coach, they finally give up the ghost.
Listen, it's still stock picking, Coach. Look. Yeah, I mean, you have stocks like an Hassan that looks like that had earnings today. This heavily shorted once high flyer. Believe me, that was 200. You know, I'm not sure if this is the conundrum. A lot of stocks are working with what I do. For example, like a Shopify. A lot of stock picking has been working. Let me go back to my main page. Stocks like MAXN have keeping, that followed through for the system, if you will. A stock like First Solar is still going up, if you will. Keeps going up. Conversely, the stocks like Bank of America, look, I mean, this one, you know what I mean?
That is really bad looking.
That is really bad. JP Morgan was the big daddy. We spoke about this, which was under the 50-day yesterday or 2 days ago. There it is. And that 2 days ago was 138, now 140.
How about Goldman? We talked about that, gave people fair warning on the banks. Goldman looks
the big daddy better. Is the one that told, listen, like I said, Lewis, if you want to start something in the banks, I mean, they're even starting to, if you want to start something in the banks, it's going to be either Goldman, it's going to be Citicorp. If you want to go to one of those other banks, Goldman, I guess they say is a bank, but aside from that, you still had major stocks. Like I don't know what's going on in the healthcare. There's a Johnson & Johnson daily chart.
Yeah. So last Thursday you bought it. You had what, a $5 pop on J&J?
I did it, but I told you I sold it.
Yeah, you did.
The one I didn't sell, I said, was Microsoft. and I'm still not selling it. Stocks,
Okay.
we talked off camera before about what stocks, Lunar. This, there's a theme going on here. As they sell other stocks, they take up these low floaters. I had OCE, they're taking up this Lunar, a stock that was a low floater that went from 10 to 16 now that's on everybody's chart. Stocks keep CVS, another one. So there's always these momentum. They're working. Do you know what I mean? GFS is a stock that I bought more in for fun yesterday. Global Foundries. That stock I'm going to add to. I'm not going to look back. I think this is one of the new leaders. Like I was talking to Lewis before. IoT is a sexy, or look into it if you will. These are a couple of the new leaders that are going to work out. ISCE, another one. This is a stock that it's a little set, a little bit funky, but the rotation has been proper. I don't know how else to, PDD, like I said, BABA was when the China trade's over, BBD gap down. PDD, the strongest one, the whole thing. Now it's going below the gap down. I said to you 8 o'clock this morning, it's in trouble. And the gauge that I put in today in the TGH room, and I didn't split the atom, is JD that came in with earnings. Now, JD, as all the other ones were popping, was a real bad laggard, Coach. I mean, I don't have to tell you this. I mean, just put over PDD over JD or the other ones, even something like a NetEase or a Baidu, which had the ChatGPT situation. So JD fairly holds a lot of water. I would say it's
going for that October low, Mike.
No, like this is the ultimate compliment, and I'm not going to say it's not going to bounce, blah, blah, blah. But for me, who has a thick skin, I wouldn't even think about contra trading it, buying. There's better out there. Why am I going to do that when the Qs are doing this? And Microsoft and Apple acting. Listen, they're going to mega again. Apple's acting well. Microsoft's acting well. Let me go to my main screen here. Pins is holding. Well, not really. Pins is holding. I'm still in it. That's maybe why I brought it up. PayPal's holding well, but yet Square's down. Nevada was acting well today, taking a little bit rest. This stock is an animal. AMD, same thing, which also goes with GFS. It's a chip maker. But there's clear, it's clear divergence. Caterpillar on the precipice again. MBLY, another one, a new best of breed that you mentioned before. Why? How can you? This is MBLY, another one, a new best, new, well, not new best of breed, a new one.
Whatever happened to Toast after it got toasted?
Question. I brought that up yesterday. Toast after it got toasted
still looks ugly.
Well, it still looks ugly. I mean, it held where it wanted to. A stock that was acting like this and that reported numbers and shocked everybody.
They have so many people trapped.
Well, yeah, from what I understand, it's going to need 1 to at least 2 quarters for it to erase what it did. Yeah. So that's in the penalty box, as we say. WPM had earned, what's that, Coach?
Oh, do you have any cues on option sweeps? Any conviction going into the NFP by option buyers today?
I do. I have GFS is which way I put it, and I'm going to go back to. I'll visually answer your question. I'll go.
What's GFS? The Great Financial Scam?
No, it's a Global Foundries. It's an AMD.
I know. FTX to you, man.
Let's look what they're doing. You know what I mean? So it's all about. Listen,
Dale Pinker is that?
What's that?
Yeah, Dale Pinker's in here. You're curious. Get him out of your stream.
Wells Fargo bearish. JP Morgan, they're buying more puts and they're going out.
All right. So there's problems with banks. AMD, it's this inverted yield curve. I don't think they make money with an inverted yield curve.
This puts it right here on the Jesus feed.
Yeah,
it's neutral.
Okay.
Non-spreads, put call, everything. Here it is, right here. Equities are dead neutral. Put call at dead neutral. So you know why it's neutral? Because there's always running something to run to on the short and the long side right here. There's plenty to do.
Wow, look at that breakaway gap in GE. Is that GE?
How about that?
Wow, that's powerful looking, man.
It is powerful.
82, that's going to, could go to 100, 105. That's a big breakout over that green line, dotted line. So it's 60 to say what, 90? That's more like 110, 120.
Yeah.
On a measured move. You're wrong under the breakout.
No. Stocks are working, Coach. Like I said, Dick's Sporting Goods stores are still going up. You took a position in this, like it's AOPH, which I mentioned, a biopharma that had volume on the way up. It finally broke out right here, second day of volume. Now, I know it's not a barn burner, but certainly, it's gave you a nice, easy hedge as a stock that's been basically just drifting up for a couple of days like it should. So there are always, there are things to do. Fizzler, EMPH, Coin on the converse side. Disney still trying to hang on. Disney still doesn't know what to do on a macro level. Caterpillar, same thing. I don't know.
I mean, when you show a lot of these things, option sweeps and other indicators flashing neutral,
yeah,
going into a major event tomorrow, tells me there aren't that many people off sides because we're not at, we don't have pessimism where the shorts could get squeezed, and we don't have euphoria where they could shake out the longs. The market's neutral. It's actually not a bad position for it to
Coach,
be in.
I now that you listen, it's now 11:15. I've been up for a while. I've been trading. Like I say, what I usually do is watch your video at 9:30. It's almost like a refresher video, what's going on macro. So I think that's very well put. I think now that I think about it, and then maybe and that's fine. Aren't we stock pickers? I'm not. I don't certainly not a market. How many times you guys see me have Qs? Or I have an opinion.
You're not making market calls.
No,
you're making stock. You're making stock trades. There's a difference between that.
I'm doing. I'm trading well to a degree. I set the bar high, and it should be. But I'm fine with it.
Anyone that wears a sweater like that has to be a great trader. That's the way I look at it. So, I actually think that you look like a master trader. You should be in Schwager's book. If he asks me for unknown market wizards, who I'm going to name.
No, I appreciate that.
You, buddy.
Hey, thanks. So, I'll be prepared. That's for sure.
All right. So, any last closing
Well, I'm going to
thoughts?
I'm going to go in and teach Saudi Arabia seeks U.S. security pledges.
I wonder why.
More bears. TKC halted. Giddy up. We love halts. All right, TKC's halted. We'll be in the room. Let's go to here's the news on the banks from earlier week. I mentioned on the broadcast. I've said that before. Microsoft stage analysis. Great follow on my Twitter feed. I follow maybe 62, 65 people. He's one of them. Very clean
nice
trader.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to TradeGATEHub now. FCX, Joba back. Joba must be he must be on land. Okay, TJ posting good. Paul's away though. We missed Paul. Paul and Gerard are away today.
Yeah.
All right. So listen,
they're waiting for tomorrow.
Today.
Yeah.
TTD was an example. It was downgraded to sell today at Bernstein. It opened up, and that gave me a little indication early on that there was a little bit of a push going. Assan short. I get Lewis. Lewis was all over the place today. Like I said, Dix keeps going. Same as yesterday.
Gold.
It was the same as yesterday.
TJ bought gold. Nice. TJ's.
He did.
Watch Trade Journal. He's good too. He's a longtime follower.
No, I know him. I watch it. He's on the Twitter feed. I watch it. I see.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't follow him, but I watch it, TJ. I know what you're doing.
Okay.
Yesterday's
Thanks
morning,
for posting, guys. Yeah.
Almost 24 hours to the day. Scroll up. Same quote as yesterday. It was semis. So that was the same thing. They worked. So
what's interesting, Mike? A month ago, on the last NFP was a pretty important turning point. That's when we went from 335 on the 10-year and launched a 1-month advance in yields up to 408. So here we come a month later. Could this be the report that puts a high in yields and they correct? I think
that should be Gina. That's the headline, Gina, right there. Because you know what? I forgot what happened a month ago. I forgot what happened for dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being facetious, but that's really that's the headline, Gina.
So pay attention to NFPs. You get a lot of inflection points. I'm not going to try and tell you which way the market's going to react to it, but I feel like if it comes in strong and they sell stuff off, that I'm going to be looking to fade it. So that's just my bias coming into tomorrow.
Well, it's a high level opinion, and as it happens, we'll certainly be able to adjust.
Yeah. So trade the NFP in our main room.
Well, here. And you know what? I'll give you.
5:30. Traded here with Mike. I'll be in a little after that. I'll be in half an hour after the number to give you my impressions and post them here, buddy.
I appreciate that. Lewis really getting better. Stuck with Disney. That's okay, Lewis. Should short Nevada again. I get it. It's a trade. S&P should hold, and Joba likes FCX. So these guys are getting just like yourself right here. Guys are really all around it. Nobody's throwing out obscure stocks. Everybody's getting it, if you will. And the way that they're getting it is that they understand it's a marathon and not a sprint. And I've been doing this for almost 30 years. You've been doing it longer. And the reason to do this is go back in our second best amenity, besides this being free. I don't see it changing anytime soon because of the behemoth that TradeView Markets created itself. But if you want to, go into the TradeView Markets website and just look at our dossier and our YouTube channel, which should be we should be at least at 3,000 by the end of the year. So there we are. Coaches, all his special guests, Larry, people that have 200, 300, 400,000 followers. Go do it. Larry, punch up Larry. You want to see what Larry does? I'll show you what Larry does in terms of a guest and his following. And believe me, this guy's old enough not to do any bots, in all due respect. Larry, for example, where's my boy? Larry has 100,000 people following, but believe me, that's modest. This guy knows what he's doing. Just to show you that the guests the coach brings up on almost a daily basis. I don't know how he's keeping it up. But with that being said, he's on every day at 9:30. We're on a Tuesday and Thursday at 11 o'clock. We're here throughout the day at the TradeView Market site, where we trade offer basically a variety, if not all, the financial instruments across the board. And once you punch into TradeGATEHub, we're here to give you a high level opinion on how to trade those. And if we don't, believe me, we know where to get them. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, and keep in mind, everyone.
I'm not telling you where I got my sweater.
I've interviewed well over 1,000 traders, the best over the globe. And I always ask them how long it took them to make a breakthrough. Most of them, the average answer is 4 years.
I know what it is.
So, like a college degree. Don't expect, just like anything, say, for example, you had a trade, say you're an electrician. You start off as an apprentice, then you move to a journeyman, then you become a master, and that takes time and experience. So be patient with yourself. It's going to take you some time. If you're fairly new and you don't like demos because you can't take them seriously, set up an account and trade micros. So even if you have $100 on the line, it's different than if you have zero and not taking your demo trading seriously. So
we say
that's what
we say that
would recommend.
I'm sorry, I apologize, Coach.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We say the TradeGATEHub is like a medical stool. We're going to provide you with all the cadavers you want instead of going on live patients. It's a chef. We're a chef. You know what I mean? I'll present you to the menu to me. You want to be a pastry chef? We got it. You want to just learn how to be, we're going to point you in the right direction. The last thing you're going to worry about is what financial instruments to trade or what they're doing. It's up to you to develop your style, and that's the process. Thanks.
It's also up to you to decide, if you're interested in TradeView. But you never know if you have a good racehorse until you run it against another.
Got to run them.
And we have many people in our room, bro, that trade elsewhere. So everyone's welcome, and it's just another option for you guys. I'm not going to say good luck to you, Mike, because you don't need luck. I'll just say good hunting to you. That. Good hunting, and to everyone else who needs luck, good luck.
Cheers. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, buddy.